Hey there, I'm Carp Carson and welcome back to another episode of Wildlife Wednesday. This week, we're back in the mountains of Virginia doing some more exploring, seeing what we can find up in the highlands. Thanks for joining us. Spring is one of my absolute favorite seasons. And one of the reasons why is how many great wildflowers there are out in the woods. Now right here, this little fella is called star chickweed. These little guys down here are native violets. Over here, we got some wild geranium. Isn't that pretty? And up here, one of the most sought after wildflowers by wildflower enthusiasts. It's called a trillium. You can see it's got 3 leaves. And the word trillium comes from the Latin for 3 hips. Tri meaning 3, ilium meaning hip. You can learn a lot about a habitat from the kind of rocks that are here. Now looking at this rock, I would say this is a Catoctin greenstone, and this was probably formed hundreds of years ago, back when the Appalachian Mountains were as tall as the Himalayas. If you look closely, you can see some quartz intrusions. That's signs of igneous processes going on inside this rock when it was first formed. This plant right here is called Japanese honeysuckle. It's an invasive species in North America. Isn't it crazy how all the way up here in the mountains we still have invasive species, even all the way up here in the mountains far from other people? Here's a really unique environment. This is called a vernal pool. They can be found up in the woods where there's water that accumulates in the summer. And I don't know if you saw the ripples moving in the water. That's because there's a lot of little tadpoles living in the water here. Let's see if we can catch one. Check this out. This little guy is going to grow to be a big frog one day. And if I had to guess, I'd say probably a wood frog. Alright, now let's release him back into the water. Here you go, little fella. Fire is one of nature's most destructive forces, but it's also important to the ecosystem. After a wildfire passes through, the ground has been cleared for other plants and organisms to move in and make use of the nutrients on the ground. Here we can see the scarred earth from probably a former wildfire. Vines are one of nature's most unique organisms. They use other things to grow and help them grow up straight and tall, because by themselves they couldn't grow up straight and tall. Here, this vine grows on a big tree. And over here, you can see an older vine when it's really big and older. And this is an older vine. Pretty impressive, huh? Check this out. An ichneumon wasp on the side of my car as soon as I get back to the parking lot. Check out the, not a stinger, but the back end of that thing. Pretty intense, huh? Thanks for joining me again for another Wildlife Wednesday. It sure was fun exploring the mountains with you. I hope you'll come back next time for another episode of Wildlife Wednesday.